We can think about blue water the easiest. That's the surface water or the groundwater that we remove from the earth. And the green water footprint is the measure of the amount of water that we use that comes from rainfall and is stored in soil and then taken up by plants. What's nice about the water footprint is that because we put the measure of water quantity and water quality in the same way with a water footprint, we can understand the proportion of the use of water related between the soil moisture in the green water footprint, the surface water or groundwater in the blue water footprint, and the pollution that's being created in the gray water footprint. The water footprint follows on the ecological footprint approach by looking at the pressure that we put on freshwater resources. Then you look at the carbon footprint, and it's a little different because carbon, greenhouse gas emissions, atmosphere is a bit difficult for us to understand. And so with that, we're looking more at the impact that we're putting on atmosphere through our activities. By looking at the three of them together, then you can have an idea of how are you putting pressure on land, how are you putting pressure on water, how are you putting pressure on the atmosphere, and get a more comprehensive look, and the possibility arises of looking at the trade-offs. As we're learning, the stress that we're putting on water is increasing rapidly, and it's becoming more and more a concern. The UN Sustainable Development Goals now have a dedicated goal for water resources. There's the World Economic Forum saying in the next 10 years water crises are the main risk of concern. And the water footprint is a way for us to be able to look at water with a common language that goes across the different uses and the different users, and so it enables us to have a coherent picture of our relationship with water. And I hope that more people recognize that value and take the benefit from it. We take the research that is being done in water and in water footprint assessment, and we bring it into application. We make it practical. We work with companies, we work with governments, we work with awareness raising, capacity building to get more and more people using water footprint assessment, understanding its values, putting it into practice, and using it to influence the way that they're relating to water, their policies and activities and strategies around water. We can look at it from the economic perspective. How are we using water within that country to produce economic good, and for what purposes, and who's benefiting from that water use? And then we can also look at it from the perspective of, how much pressure are we putting on our water resources in this country? And perhaps we're doing that for trade. And so understanding how much of the water footprint within our country is for internal use and how much is for trade and external use. The other way you can think about the water footprint is water coming in. If there is an unsustainable situation where that water is being used, your imports may be at risk, and maybe your economy is reliant on that, your food security is reliant on that, your energy security is reliant on that. And it's a thread that ties all of those together.